What's going on, guilty guys and gals? Welcome back to Dra. We're gonna start Chapter 4 Trial today. Every time they do that, it's scary.
Then I'll open the door. Let's go.
Here we go. We're in the elevator. Oh my goodness. Alright.
At first, I thought that this elevator was so narrow. It felt full before, but now it's so wide. I looked at the six other than me, in heavy silence, one by one. Tsurugi is in complete trial mode. In this state, it's like a 180-degree change. He only uses his mind to break through the events before his eyes. But is it because of our mood that it looks like there's some anxious expression there? Satsuki, who hadn't lost her bright personality at any time, was somehow unable to escape from her shock of losing Haru. She wasn't the same. She wasn't the same Satsuki anymore, and her shaggy appearance, made even the beholder's heart ache. Mikako's always the same. She stayed consistent with silence, and I couldn't even tell what she was thinking. Akane looked very tired. She doesn't want to lose any more friends. She doesn't want to go through class trials anymore. That kind of heart seemed to linger in her face. Juria was restless. After the incident, I feel that Juria's behavior became strange, but if you think about it, he's like this every trial, so it's not too unusual. Rei wasn't saying anything. She'd watch us work like usual, but must have been thinking of something unfamiliar, something unexpected even for her. Is there anything that'll get us out of this case? I don't know, is there something that'll get us stuck from this case? I don't know. Different thoughts and different beliefs crossed between each other. At the point where there are only 7 of us left, we've started thinking differently. But we have to overcome this. A hell-like 4th class trial.
A hell-like 4th class trial. Ding. Oh boy.
The elevator stops. As if we'd made an appointment, we stepped at the same time without a special signal, towards a very familiar courtroom.
Oh, it's yellow. Oh no. Let's see if I can...
You're here! I was waiting! How are you guys? It's been a long time, hasn't it? You met with us right after the murder happened a while ago, though. Nah, I mean meeting me as the judge. Well, it's been more than a week since the last trial.
Oh, has it?
Instead of that, the presiding judge is more stylish than usual.
Don't be useless and start this damn thing already.
Well, I'm always neglected, but this time it's getting more thorns, I don't know. Don't you think so, Yuki?
I don't care. Start it, like she said.
Even Yuki's being rude to me? This could be a sign to represent your heartache. Well then, I'll start like you asked.
Alright, here we go.
Now, shall we start right away? To uncover the truth of the prolonged stay in the ballroom incident for more than a week, we have the all-exciting, heart-pounding class trial.
Here we go.
The only thing that's the same as usual is Monokuma. Each of us were in serious moods, unlike usual. The intensity of this trial, the feeling of losing a dear friend. The reasons were different, but in the end, we were here the same. Now, all that remains is to find the culprit by confronting the clues, testimonies, and to test our wits that we have left.
I don't know if this music really fits, but okay.
Haruhiko. Our relationship with him was finally bonding us together. In the middle, he was like licorice in a drugstore. Okay. With Satsuki, he always showed us his bright side, and at the same time, the love for his friends was twice as deep as anyone else's.
Sure.
As a result, because of his death, we were able to eat and survive, but he couldn't anymore. It was an unavoidable choice to live, but something, I pressed the button too fast by accident. The atmosphere of the court is filled with silence. Our trial finally begins. A life-threatening... okay, we're doing this, are we? A life-threatening class trial.
Alright, there we go. There we go. Now we're back to normal. I guess I'll save. Why not? Just in case. Let me go over everything, because I'm not going to be able to after. Body found in the arsenal. Excessive bleeding. His fingers exploded. Yep. Gunshot wound to the chest. The first murder occurred with a weapon for murder called a gun. I forgot about that. We don't know what which gun killed him. Fingers are missing. The gun exploded. Oh, this is the scattered guns. The guns that were all over the place. Unnatural blood stains, like he wandered around after dying. The exploded fingers. The exploded gun. The smoke grenade that somehow worked when we opened the door. A wood plank. Wow, that is a bigger plank than I thought. When I think of a plank, I think of like a 2x4. That's like... that's pretty big. Alright, so the wood was in the door. Yeah. Corner gun. As if someone hit it. Yeah, okay. Tria's being weird. The letter in the room saying, "Get over here." Mikako said she heard a few people entering the arsenal during the dawn hours, right? Tsurugi said it's not an instant death. Okay, I think I got this. I'm going to move my window a little bit. There we go. In session. Oh, good. I have to do his voice. Oh, no, this is just the thing. I'm skipping this then. Yeah, we know. Just leave that on screen for a little bit so you all can see it.
It's finally started. The 4th class trial. One of us is the culprit that killed Haruhiko. We have to find the culprit at all costs.
Now then, please begin your discussion.
Alright, here we go.
Guys?
Right, yeah. Should we start discussing?
Okay, we have to work hard, so where do we start?
What's this mood? Well, it's not unreasonable, I guess. Our conflict has reached its peak.
First, I think each of you will have a lot of things to say before the trial. The feelings that you're feeling will be different, but for now, just focus on what's in front of you. Leave behind everything else, just like we've done so before, haven't we?
Tsurugi?
Don't talk to me.
Like Tsurugi said, it's the trial, so let's swallow what we want to say to each other for a moment. Survival's our priority.
He looks so happy when saying that. Don't take that for granted, do you? Get started already.
Then, let's begin. Once we get the case sorted out, let's organize the series of events in chronological order, based on what each knows.
Hey, wait a minute. Before that, I have something to say for just a minute, please.
What?
I'm the killer. Satsuki?
What'd you say just now?
I said, I'm the killer. I'm the culprit who killed Haruhiko Kobashikawa.
Don't play around, Satsuki. What are you saying all of a sudden?
It's not a joke.
Are you serious?
Don't make me laugh. Do you think that if you claim to be the criminal without physical evidence or logic, you'll just become the culprit?
But I really killed Haruhiko. It can't be. Stop making bad jokes, Satsuki.
You should explain one step at a time. If we listen and are convinced, then we can truly believe you're the culprit.
All of a sudden, what is this? Just as the trial began, she said she was the culprit. If it were a normal culprit, they'd never confess. But could Satsuki really be the culprit? Before making any judgments, let's first listen to her story.
Ooh, the remix. I didn't know she would just do this, but here we go. Non-stop debate will begin. Proceed to the debate. I remember how to non-stop debate. Letter in the room. Gunshot, chest wound.
Flash and smoke grenades.
It's in like a different font, so.
Why are you claiming to be the culprit? Let's hear your reason.
Don Kopazin called me.
Oh.
I followed him. We went into the arsenal. And then, all by myself, he pointed a gun at me. I just shot him in self-defense.
Okay.
It can't be.
Okay, so it's probably Haruhiko called me.
Satsuki really is the culprit. It means that the victim, Haruhiko himself, called the culprit. But isn't that a little weird? Haruhiko was actually the one who was called.
And that clue proves it. Yeah, okay. I know. Oh, there it is. No sticky keys? Okay, we're good. No, there it is! I knew it was gonna happen. Die! Got it. Break.
Wait, Satsuki, Haruhiko called you? Isn't that weird?
Is it weird?
The victim, Haruhiko, called you the culprit. That can't be it. Rather, the victim, Haruhiko, should have been called by the culprit then went to the arsenal.
I mean, Yuki, look, I know you have the evidence, but like, without pointing that out right now, you sound so silly. She just said that he called her that pointed a gun at her. Like,
If you were the culprit, you would know.
You're saying he was called by the killer? That's, I don't know.
It's ridiculous. The letter that was put in Haruhiko's room is what he's talking about. The contents are as follows. To Haruhiko, I have something to tell you. If you read this, why don't you come to the arsenal? I'm not trying to kill you. I hope you believe me. I'll wait.
that wasn't, I don't think it said, "I'll wait."
Did you improvise?
No.
Well, if the contents of that letter are true, it makes no sense that Kabashikawa called Satsuki and took her to the arsenal, right?
Again, like, we're gonna call Haruhiko by, I guess that's just Ayame's thing, right? Ayame? Akane. Gosh. She calls the boys by their last name and the girls by the first name, because I guess she considers all the girls are friends. But then they still just, all of them call Teruya by his first name. Maybe that's just a lack of respect for Teruya.
It would be the opposite.
That's right, but Satsuki, okay, said that she doesn't know much about this letter. The killer doesn't know the letter they sent. It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. What if it was manipulation? Yoki and Tsurugi wrote that letter that I didn't know, and now you're manipulating things.
Don't be a thickhead.
A what?
Obviously, this evidence came from Haruhiko's room. So, Satsuki isn't the culprit?
Wrong. I really mean it. I am the culprit.
Just looking at the current evidence, to say that she's the culprit, it's hard to tell, but I want to make things a little more clear.
We've looked at one piece of evidence. Come on, guys.
Let's ask about it. Haruhiko's other wound, the source of which is unknown to the evidence and that only the culprit would know.
The exploded hand.
Satsuki, if you really are the culprit, there's one thing I want you to tell me. It isn't like the letter, but a more direct clue on Haruhiko's body. If you're the culprit, it's a clue that you'd know the answer to.
Oh, what's that?
Haruhiko's right hand. Do you recall? His right hand was completely exploded. It's hard to say that it was just from the gunshot wound. If you're the culprit, can you tell me the true nature of that wound?
I don't know. Oh, why did his hand become that way?
You don't have to talk anymore. Obviously, you're not the culprit.
Oh, wait a second. I'm telling the truth.
Why are you still claiming to be the killer? If it's real, and you are the culprit, you're only going to be executed. I don't know what you're thinking, but this isn't a joke. If you unnecessarily confuse our reasoning to choose the wrong killer, then we're all going to die.
Maybe. That might have been the purpose.
Huh?
She was close to Haruhiko Kabashikawa, who just died this time, right? Apparently, it looks like she was in severe shock. So, unlike the usual clown who talks at random, with that shock in mind, perhaps she's trying to make us follow Haruhiko Kabashikawa's fate. Is that right?
That's it?
Absolutely not. Of course. I'm really sad that Haru died, but I am very much sane.
As sane as a clown can be, I guess. Stop it, Satsuki. We haven't even started a proper discussion yet. If the discussion goes on, the killer will naturally be revealed. If you really are the killer, you don't have to rush things. It'll all turn out okay.
That's one way to say it, I guess.
Satsuki. Oh, all right then. Let's discuss about it.
Have we been roughly organized then? You wasted a lot of time on useless things. So, let's start from the beginning. When the case started. Hold on a minute. Is it okay to wait a minute before that? In this case, can we assume that Satsuki isn't the culprit? No, not necessarily. If she is really the culprit, there's still a possibility.
That's it?
We haven't started any reasoning yet. First, there's a possibility for what happened a little while ago, but maybe there's something up. In that way, they were excluding themselves from the suspect line. Well, to be that calculated, with Satsuki's mind, it'd be impossible to tell.
Hey, you're treating me as a fool. I don't think it was on purpose. Also, he's also a fool.
Quiet. First, like Tsurugi says, let's summarize the unfolding of the case. Oh, right. Where can we start from? The evening before the incident happened?
Oh, that was when we, Yuki, Haruhiko, Teruya, and, well, Satsuki, Mikako, and me. 6 people gathered at the restaurant. Yuki called us together and...
At that time, we were at the limit of our hunger. We all thought to come together and meet each other, that we could maybe somehow unfold the policy. At that time, Teruya suggested...
I'll tell you, I wasn't really sane back then. It's, what happened, it wasn't my fault. I was being immature.
What's this? I didn't even see your faces the day before the murder took place. I don't know what you're talking about, so would you care to explain what's going on?
Teruya gave us a pen and paper to nominate a victim and a culprit. He asked for one person to vote, since Monokuma had banned suicide. It was a plan to set up the case at the expense of 2 people.
Oh, it was really crazy. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all over now, and we all almost agreed to the plan, too.
Looks like the part I saw from there. Broke into the restaurant because of the absurd plan that was about to be implemented, and I replaced it with an even more absurd plan.
Yeah, Tsurugi came in and handed out guns to each of us to, commit suicide.
What?
Oh, no. Nothing at all. Keep going.
Well, that's when we started to fight back against Tsurugi. We were lucky enough to catch him off guard, and we judged him to be dangerous, so we tied him up so he couldn't move anymore.
Oh my. Sorry. I'm so... I guess it would be impolite. Uneducated doesn't make sense. So impolite today. Continue. Go on.
The problem started after this. Thanks to Tsurugi, our plan was halted, and there was no progress for the day. We locked him in his room and then went back to each of ours. between that and then the morning, Haruhiko died.
I couldn't sleep all night, so I was staying awake with my eyes open. I heard something outside in the morning, so I went out and Yuki was asking for help, saying the door wasn't opening. And when you somehow opened that door, you found the body.
Yeah, that's right. This case is missing information between the dawn hours, and there isn't much evidence, so we have no choice but to share what little information we do know with each other.
First, few alibis can be established just by hearing this.
Alibis?
Yeah, I was tied up, so I didn't do it. Ha ha. Yeah, so let's dig into the alibis one by one, alright?
Alibi alignment. Ah! Alright. A natural bloodstain. Destroyed gun. It's probably going to be Mikako saying a few people went into the thing, right?
First off, it'd be a problem if I excluded myself from the suspect list since I was tied up, right? Oh, it won't be a problem.
Oh, certainly. An idea where Tsurugi committed the crime, doesn't seem possible.
I have an alibi too! Yuki and me! We were together when the body discovery announcement happened. If so, the ones who can be suspected as the criminal are Rei, Akane, Satsuki, Mikako. Those four.
I don't really have an alibi, but it's not me. Satsuki is the killer!
You shut up already. Stop causing trouble.
If there were more information that could check our alibis at dawn.
I want to say the last thing.
But if someone wandered around at dawn, the killer wouldn't have been able to move.
Everyone wasn't sane at the time, and the incident happened while everyone's senses were bad near dawn hour. So it's necessary to establish a certain alibi. Come to think of it, I think someone saw people heading to the arsenal near morning. Could that information help about our alibis?
Okay. Does it do anything? Yeah, it does, okay. It's just hard to hit it, because... Nope. Nope. This is Ray's. There we go.
Consent!
Wait, is this our first? I don't remember seeing that before. Is this our first consent bullet? Or like agree bullet? Maybe there was one before. I actually don't know.
Tsurugi, wait! Come to think of it, I think there was someone. Someone who might know the alibis during dawn in detail.
Who?
During the investigation, Mikako, she clearly testified to me she'd seen who went to the arsenal at the morning. Right, Mikako?
Yes. What? If that's true, the culprit's already been revealed, right?
You're noisy. Be quiet. Hey, Dark Circles. Tell us, what'd you see?
Mikako's room is right next door to the arsenal, so she heard the arsenal door opening and closing. Of course, the arsenal itself is soundproofed, so she didn't hear the sounds coming from inside.
I don't think hearing only the sound is enough to be a direct witness testimony.
No, I saw people passing by in front of my door.
What? No way you were watching the hallway all morning. Is that what you mean?
Nodding again, okay.
But then, still, wouldn't it have been difficult to stay sane from hunger? Watching that hallway all night without sleep, it's...
However, that worked nicely in reverse. The culprit couldn't have thought that there would be someone in the midst watching the corridor. It's a great achievement, Mikako. Something I did in the first case. You're just like me.
Anyway.
So then, who passed by? Well, I don't know the time. So, it was in this order. First was Haruhiko and Satsuki, from left to right. The arsenal didn't open yet. A little later, Satsuki went from right to left. She was alone at the time. A little later after she passed, Tria went from left to right. A little later again,
I heard the sound of the arsenal door. Then Teruya went from right to left. After a while, Haruhiko went right to left soon after, and Haruhiko and Satsuki were together again.
Okay, that's a lot.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Just wait a minute. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know which way is left to right or right to left. Can you tell us a little more clearly?
You're the only one who doesn't understand something so simple, aren't you? Don't cut the flow for no reason. Focus and listen.
Don't be like that. I'm a little confused too. But just listen to her story first, and then we can reorganize it in an easy and understand manner later. Mikako, is that it?
Nods, okay. Good fade. Alright.
Indeed.
As you said, you can assume the killer has already revealed themselves.
At the time of the investigation, I didn't know because Mikako didn't tell me all the way, but this is definitely a tremendous amount of information.
She's like,
Yeah. Kinda crazy, huh?
Oh, it's on me, okay?
Hey, I want to join the discussion too, but can't you tell us a little more simply?
Sorry, Akane. I'll organize it so it's easy to understand. But before that, there's something I want to check again. The location of the room each of us was using. If we know this, I think we could properly organize Mikako's information.
Well, that's certainly something I'd want. What? That's certainly something I want to do and need to move on. For what I roughly checked with each other during the investigation.
oh good. Ah, it's so squished, haha.
Everyone remembers the structure of the corridor behind the ballroom where the rooms are listed, right? As you would know, if you did a little closer examination, there was a small tag on the door of each room.
That's a lot of rooms.
According to this tag, the rooms were distributed in this manner. Monokuma randomly gave us a key for each room. From what I investigated...
Oh, little chibis. Does Makako have like a... She does, right? She's got something on the top of her head. I don't know, because she just looks very different in this, like, chibi form. Oh, maybe that's just with her hair up for the... Yeah, because Tsurugi's got his weird little center thing for the fancy outfits. And also Rei's got the ponytail. That's probably what it is. Anyway, Makako is in room 3, which makes sense. Haruhiko's room 4, which is... Oh, no. Mikako's in room 8. Tsurugi was right beside Teruya. Satsuki was below Tsurugi. Rei below. Okay. Well, that's fairly convenient. There was, like, a room space between all of us, except Tsurugi and Teruya.
This is probably how each of us were located in each room. When we reconsider Mikako's testimony after arranging the distribution of the rooms used by each person, we can see a few suspects are eliminated.
Well, I mean, I don't understand Mikako's words at all.
Shut up! That's your own fault. You're going to blow up valuable discussion time for someone stupid as you.
Ah! Why do you yell at me so much? Oh, wait, I remember. Still.
Tsurugi, come on. It's important for everyone to know the case, right? I'll rearrange it and explain it to you, Akane.
Preferably do it as quickly as possible.
It's not like we have a time limit. Like, come on, Tsurugi.
Tsurugi, you still don't forgive me?
Akane, so, to summarize her words simply... First, the fact that Mikako watched the hallway in the morning... Akane, you heard her say that earlier, right?
I'm not stupid. I'm just a little confused because I don't know which... Is it her right or our right?
Based on what Tsurugi summarized, Mikako's room is room number 8, the room on the right side of the arsenal. When you go straight from the entrance of the arsenal to that corridor... Like she explained a little while ago, what Mikako said from left to right and right to left was based on the direction she was facing, the direction of the corridor from Mikako's room. Here, I make it easier to understand with pictures.
Thank goodness we have these.
The order that Mikako saw it, Haruhiko and Satsuki were the first people that passed by the arsenal door at this time. She said there was no sound of the arsenal door opening yet, so I think it was just the two of them passing by. A little later, she said Satsuki passed by alone again in the opposite direction.
Like she was going to her room.
Shortly after, she said Teruya then passed by. Woo! At this time, she heard the sound of the arsenal door opening. This probably means Teruya went into the arsenal. After a while, the sound of the arsenal door opening was heard again, and then Teruya passed by in the opposite direction. Soon after, Haruhiko passed by, going the same way. After this, Haruhiko and Satsuki went from left to right again. At this time, the door to the arsenal was opened. Somebody went inside. After that, there was no movement for a while, and after a short time had passed, Satsuki passed by with the sound of the arsenal door opening again. Those are all the movements Mikako saw and heard during the morning. After this, she, heard the ruckus of us opening the arsenal door, but that was probably the sounds of us trying to break it open. Teruya, who then passed by, heard the sounds I'd made. And I opened the door with his help during that time. That's the summary of what Mikako heard and saw, roughly like that. Do you understand?
Wow, when you explained it to me, I understood it immediately. Thanks. Really, but wait. If we look from the current events, step by step...
Yeah, there's one suspicious person. Do you see it clearly? I can't guarantee 100% that what Mikako heard and saw was everything that happened at dawn, but with the information obtained till now has resulted in one influential suspect in this case.
I mean, I want to hit it because she was the last one to leave, right? But then also Teruya was there and we haven't talked about him at all. So I'm going to start with this.
Teruya, he's the only one who fits to be the main suspect of this case.
Uh-huh? Me?
Haruhiko's the victim. He couldn't help it. The fact that Satsuki was close to him makes me understand why she would be there. But then, why was Teruya moving around like that so early in the morning?
What was it again? Right, I was investigating, yeah. Everyone was in a panic, so I wanted to find clues to get out, even for a little bit. Just a few hours ago, you were trying to pick two victims. That guy who was despairing and doing investigation. Who was despairing was doing investigation while thinking all these things? Doesn't that sound a little off? That's all there is to it. The weight, fixed my mind. People can change their mind easily, you know?
Even if it's true you did an investigation, if you think about it based on Mikako's testimony, you were only in the arsenal. What kind of investigation did you do in there?
No, I never went in the arsenal.
Teruya! Stop the pretense and explain yourself!
The hell did you do in there? I never went into the arsenal!
Teruya...
What does it have to be only me? I did nothing wrong! If you look at it, Satsuki also went around at dawn. Why am I the only one who's suspicious?
Yeah, I'm the culprit.
Are you still saying that? I told you to be quiet.
Certainly, Satsuki is well enough under suspicion. However, she said she didn't know the identity of the letter, nor did she know about Haruhiko's hand. So that's it then. You're just gonna take her off the list because she doesn't know a couple things. That's a long shot. I didn't know anything about the letter or right hand either. Don't be mistaken, Teruya. You now said that Satsuki's the culprit, and you don't know about those clues. Well, Satsuki claims to be the culprit but doesn't recognize them. This is an entirely different matter. Then, what about Yuki? When I saw him this morning, he was trying to get in the arsenal. So, shouldn't he also be suspicious?
That just happened.
Yes, I won't deny Maida as suspect as you claim. He'd been in and out of the arsenal the previous day, and even that morning. He had the strange idea of going to the arsenal again.
He's like, but, hold on, I think I need a drink or I'm gonna get the hiccups. Alright.
This is a separate matter. As a result, Yuki failed to enter the arsenal that morning. There was no testimony of him by Kurokawa, witnessing him, so this is not suitable for committing the crime. Well, anyways, I don't know about any of that.
I mean, I'm not exactly trying to protect him, but relying on only Mikako's testimony has a slightly loose time frame. I'm going to ignore it to not go nuts so we can move on already.
I know that. It's about the structure of the ballroom, right?
The structure?
It was, what? You didn't okay. Think about it.
You can go all the way around.
Even if Mikako watched the hallway all night, it's all about looking outside of the room and hearing the arsenal door. If you look at the structure of the ballroom, you can easily enter the arsenal without passing by there. Because we were all at the ballroom for a week, I think everyone should know. But the arsenal is structured around a dance hall, a 360-degree circle. In other words, you can go back to the other side and enter the arsenal without being seen by Mikako. Moreover, in the case of Yuki, Mikako wouldn't have seen him even if he did use this method and went straight to the arsenal from his room, since it was on the opposite side of Mikako's in the first place.
So you knew that too.
See? Yuki's the culprit after all! There's something you shouldn't overlook, Teruya. Even if you use some method to enter the arsenal without showing your appearance to Mikako, there's still the sound of the door opening and closing that she heard.
But Mikako's testimony, the sound of the arsenal opening and closing was always heard before and after someone passed her.
That's right. After all, the person who walked in and out of the arsenal at dawn, I can't think of anything other than those three people who showed up in her testimony. Haruhiko, Satsuki, and Teruya.
It's all lies! So, Teruya, you went into the arsenal, and I want to hear your reason why. If you're really innocent, there's no reason to be panicking, right? Then, I am innocent. Really, I just went to the arsenal, I just went in there for a minute.
I don't think there'll be an end to this if it goes on as it is. What is Teruya so afraid of? I'm not sure, but he doesn't want to say anything. Because, well, I'm not certain, but I'll have to show more convincing evidence so that he has no choice but to make his own words. Come to think of it, there seems to be one suspicious thing about Teruya during the investigation. What was it? It was when I was investigating something in the arsenal. Let's recall that moment.
Okay. No, I hit the tutorial button. The tutorial isn't even translated anymore. Okay. I know what it was. It was where the bullet should be, which actually I think is probably over here. I was searching this the other time. But anyway, it's this gun. Corner gun. The little bullet's just going, yeah, right in the corner. It's funny.
Come to think of it, Teruya, didn't you say something strange to me while we were investigating?
What? Something strange? No?
I found a gun dropped in the corner of the room, and when I checked on it to investigate it, suddenly you burst in and told me not to touch it, because it would blow up.
What do you mean, Yuki? Tell us in more detail.
There was this gun in the corner of the arsenal that was out of sight. I tried to investigate why it would be all the way over there like that. And suddenly Teruya, who was nearby, ran up and told me not to touch it because it would explode if I shot it. Maybe he thought I was going to use it?
If you shoot it, it'll blow up? What are you talking about?
No, before answering that question, how did he know about that? Yuki, the gun. Did you properly investigate it?
I examined it roughly, but it was just like any of the others. There was nothing special. I thought it might be equipped with a bomb or something, 'cause he said it was going to explode.
Probably not like that. Hey, Monokuma.
Huh? Did you call for me? I was enjoying this. What's up?
I require you to submit evidence. Bring the gun that Yuki mentioned.
What? What are you? Why am I being ordered around? Submit evidence? Is that possible?
It's part of our debate on the class trial. There should be no problem within the rules. You, the judge, have no right to deny it.
Ugh, that's correct. There's no profit to rejecting it. Besides, if it's part of the discussion, what's the point? Gee, I really don't like your attitude. How can you be so cheeky?
Shut up and get it already!
Actually, I knew it was going to happen, so I brought it from the beginning. Here you go.
Monokuma just had a gun this whole time. Can you imagine if we came down here and he was just holding a gun and everybody was like, ah, and he's like,
Oh, sorry.
How is it?
It's delicious. I mean, what? This is it. Bullet! It's a bullet.
Bullet? It was loaded?
Not a simple bullet. It's a bullet for shotguns and medium-sized rifles. Bullets that don't meet the standard were forcibly loaded into this gun. If you pulled the trigger with one of these, a bullet that doesn't properly fit the magazine, it would enter the chamber and block the muzzle. Of course, no bullet shell would come out. The pressure from the gunpowder hasn't dissipated where it's supposed to. Instead, it goes spreading all over the gun itself, and it would end up shattering.
Wait a minute. When did Teruya figure this out?
Huh? I see now what you were doing in the arsenal. Oh!
Teruya, did you change the bullets out on purpose? For what?
The gun in that state, if you hold it with a human hand and fire it, your hand would not be safe. When I listened to those words just now, I remember a very similar wound in my mind. Yes, the source is becoming clear. Haruhiko's right hand. I understand it now. Haruhiko was hit by the explosion of the pistol he was holding. The explosion of the pistol Tsurugi's holding right now? No, he wasn't.
unless the gun exploded. Tsurugi can't be holding it right now. Unless they rebuilt it.
It's like Tsurugi's holding right now. That evidence was also in the arsenal. It's...
The exploded gun. Nope. This one.
Yeah, that's right. In the arsenal. The fragments of a gun covered in blood, which appear to have burst from the inside.
Yeah, I saw it too. Haruhiko fired the gun wrong. The gun loaded with the wrong bullets, just like this gun. And that gun that he was holding exploded. His hand ended up being ruptured.
Then, Teruya did this to Haruhiko.
Wait a minute. I'm sure this gun is the one I touched, but I don't know anything about the other one. Huh. So you admit it, that you touched this gun? No. Of course, the two guns with misloaded bullets. It's quite strange, but I'm certain, Teruya, that you were the one who did this.
Is that really it? I think if we pry a little more, he'll end up confessing everything.
Don't treat me like a criminal without solid evidence. Even if I put my hands on that gun, there's no proof I'm the killer. So, I don't know anything. Give me proof, man. Evidence.
It can't be denied Teruya is the most powerful suspect right now, but is there any more solid evidence? If we keep discussing, we might see something we haven't considered before.
Alright. Bullet scan. Okay. Good to know that we're going to be doing the bullet scan thing. I think we have to hold shift on it. I probably should have checked that. It's either shift or B. Whoa, the mass panic debate music.
I don't know anything. It's already been revealed, so stop lying and tell the truth. You went to the arsenal, deliberately loaded the gun improperly so that the bullets would explode the gun. But only doing that doesn't mean I'm the culprit, does it? Of course you loaded the gun. You can't say it doesn't make you the culprit, or you can say it doesn't. The killer loaded the bullets on purpose. I'm certain of it. That's far-fetched. I'm not the killer. Because I did that one thing, you can't treat me like the culprit.
You knew the gun was going to explode. What more evidence do you want?
Truya, how could you?
Oh my god.
I should have noticed. The moment you asked us to pick a victim with pen and paper you were given, you were the murderer.
I'm surprised Tsuruya doesn't have a line like,
That's rich coming from you. It's certain
Truya went into the arsenal at dawn and secretly manipulated the gun. But is it really all there is? Did he sneak in at dawn just to do that one thing? Let's think about it. If this isn't everyone's statements, we'll uncover another track of Truya's deeds.
I'm actually not sure here. Let's just try to absorb something so I figure out which button it is. I think it's shift. Nope, it's not shift. It's not Z. Oh.
Ow. My heart.
What button is it then? I mean, I only have a few buttons. It can't be anything too crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try again. See what it is. No, it's definitely not shift. I thought it would be shift for sure. Okay, is it B? No. What else could it be? Oh, it is B. Wait, does it only work on the one you have to use? Maybe that's what it is.
Certain Truya went into the arsenal at dawn and secretly. Is that all there really is? They get a dodge just to do that.
Alright, so it's the pen and paper we're going to shoot.
I didn't do anything else.
That's kind of a lame point, but I suppose it's true. Also, look, there's Kinji. He's got a bleeding cross. How lovely. Nope, not yet. I don't think it's that. I'm pretty sure we're shooting down Tsuruya's statement. There we go. Alright. We took a point of damage, but we got through it.
That's it! The pen and paper!
Oh, what?
After listening to Akane's words, I thought about it more. At the beginning of the trial, you guys remember the letter that you said you were blaming Satsuki about? I've been thinking it was weird all this time. How did the culprit write that letter? We should have lost all of our belongings at the same time we entered the ballroom.
Hearing that, yeah, how did... Oh...
Exactly, like you said. Perhaps the night before the murder, there was someone who secretly handed out a piece of paper to ask someone to choose two victims.
He had a heek moment. I'm heeking out.
It's obvious at this point Truya clearly said that at the time, the extra paper and pen he had weren't removed from his clothes. That means Truya's the only one of us who had a pen of paper in their belongings.
I see now why this is a point. Before I was like, okay, whatever, but yeah.
Don't joke around! You could have found another piece of paper and wrote on it.
Oh, is that so? Should we go check then? Monokuma, bring that letter.
I knew this would happen, so I brought it in advance here.
Okay, whatever.
Now, without making any commotion, let's read it.
This must be the same paper Teruya had.
So, Teruya was the one who sent that letter to Haruhiko's room?
Wait a minute! You're forcing me! I handed out a bunch of paper to you guys. Soon after that, when Tsurugi made a fuss, maybe he got one in the mass of confusion.
It's only paper, so it might be possible. But what about your side? Teruya, you said it with your own words. There was only one pen. No matter how much paper you had, you couldn't write a letter without it.
Maybe the pen also got, stolen in the confusion?
Why does he keep hooing? Tsurugi's becoming an owl.
I'm going to spit a pellet.
Okay.
Because you don't have the pen right now. You said you only have one. If we look through your belongings and the party clothes you wore, you won't have any complaints then. No, that's not allowed.
Why not? Is there something in there you don't want us to see?
It's decided then. You can't refute this anymore. You wrote a letter to call out Haruhiko and misloaded a bullet to make sure his hand would be ruptured. All of this, it's what you did, Teruya. But my plot armor!
Really? Teruya? Why? Why did you do that? Why would you kill Haruhiko?
Yeah, if you're gonna kill somebody, why couldn't it at least be Tsurugi?
I'm sorry. All you said was right.
After all, you couldn't stand the hunger, could you?
What else would someone do? Actually, there was a reason I was aiming for Haruhiko, and why we fought that day. It was all because of the hunger.
Teruya.
So what? You're hoping for sympathy? Either way, you planned the murder and executed it. No, I have nothing to say. I don't want to make excuses and dishonor Haruhiko anymore. I'm gonna die anyways.
Wait, there's something I'm curious about. Why did you go to the arsenal before the victim, work with the gun, write a letter to call him, then go back again to the arsenal?
My plan was originally to summon Haruhiko, and then see him go into the arsenal, then I'd go in with him. But, as if it had nothing to do with the criminal, Haruhiko and I were supposed to fight. Then I'd provoke him and let him shoot at me with the gun I'd prepared. Once that happened, his hand would blow up, and without knowing anything, he would die. In the past, I followed my papa to study guns in America, so I decided to commit the crime by using the knowledge I gained there. I went back to my room and watched to see Haruhiko come out, but I was so tired, I fell asleep until morning. At the end, I don't know why Haruhiko shot the gun and broke his hand, but it was my fault. The fact that I killed Haruhiko doesn't change.
That was a difficult answer for even I to predict. I'm glad you're a stupid fool.
In a way, Mikako, who was watching the corridor all morning, I think that was a good thing. Thanks to that, my crime was discovered.
Teruya. The discussion so far has ended with the conclusion that Teruya is the culprit. It seems like a long shot. I think there's still unsolved questions.
Wait a minute. I've been listening all this time, and something is wrong. Teruya is not the culprit. Satsuki, what are you talking about? He just admitted it. I mean, the culprit is me.
Are you still saying that? I told you to shut up. Wait, is Teruya really the culprit?
Even Mikako?
If I'm right, Teruya is not the culprit. There's still an unsolved mystery.
What are you guys talking about? I'm the culprit, aren't I? I'm almost 90% certain Teruya is the culprit, but It's still a little too early to end the trial. I agree. There's an unsolved mystery left.
If we tried to vote without anyone speaking up like this, I would have done it myself, but actually, I think this is the most important part of the case.
What's going on all of a sudden? How is the trial ending like this?
That's right. If we think about it carefully, there are a lot of parts that couldn't be explained on the contents of our discussion.
I'd like to hear what Makako thinks. Why is Tsuruya not the culprit?
You weren't careful enough, even for Tsurugi.
What?
Nothing. Anyway, if you listen to the explanation, you'll figure it out.
Ah, we're spinning again. I was kind of hoping that would be the break in the trial, you know? Maybe, but okay. Do. Right, who set up the frickin' explosives? Wasn't Teruya if he fell asleep.
Why do you think Tsuruya can't be the culprit?
When Teruya passed the door to my room, he sent a letter to Haruhiko. Afterwards, he went inside the arsenal and prepared the next part of his plan. That's the explanation so far. But after that, Teruya passed the door to my room again. There was no movement until the morning after.
But they were...
Even if Teruya did plot something, even if Haruhiko's hand did explode, the direct cause of death is a gunshot wound.
True. Tsuruya didn't mention he used the gun himself. If Tsuruya, who came into the arsenal before Haruhiko, didn't kill...
And one more thing, the arsenal was blocked from inside. Does anyone know more about this?
Uh-huh. Alright. Yeah.
I found the corpse of Tsuruya. What was there before? It was blocked. The reason the door was blocked was because of a wood plank.
I wish I got... Ooh, I got a double. It's very hard to hit this. Okay. Nope. No! I didn't mean to shoot that! I was trying to progress the thing, and it freaking moved up. Ooh. I wish I could just press, like, right or something and make it go, please. Why does this have to be a struggle? I'm just gonna let that one flow by naturally, then. Oh, come on! This is so annoying. Oh, I got a triple. Wait, I had the wrong bullet now. No! Oh, God, I'm gonna die. Don't make me die. Ah! I was too focused. Okay. At least it's actually giving me some pretty good RNG this time. Alright, I'm not risking it. I'm not risking it. I'm not risking it. Okay. There we go, okay. 2 agree bullets in 1 trial. That's crazy. I don't even remember having 1 before, but we probably didn't. I just don't remember.
The wood plank! Are you referring to that, Makako?
That's right, Yuki.
You mean the broken wood plank that fell near the arsenal door?
Yeah. According to Yuki, he opened the arsenal door in the morning with Tsuruya's help.
You're not going to say just because they opened the door together he can't be the culprit, are you?
That's not it. Think about it. After Tsuruya entered and left the arsenal in the morning, Haruhiko entered afterwards. Until this moment, the door to the arsenal was open. Then, when was the door blocked with the wood plank? Well, when was it? It's for a fact that Tsuruya... that Haruhiko opened the door and went in, so doesn't that mean the door was blocked after that?
It's true, but according to Dark Circle's testimony, Churio Tori did not enter the arsenal after doing his little scheme. In other words, Churio wasn't the one who blocked the door with a wooden plank.
That's only natural. When I tried to open the door with Yuki in the morning,
What?
I was confused to know that the arsenal, which had only been opened before, wasn't opening. Like I said before, you have to pass by Makako's room. Even if you don't,
Or you don't have to pass by Makako's room.
even if you don't, you can head to the arsenal door. After that, the door to the arsenal was opened one more time. And at that time, Churia finished his plan.
That's impossible. Since Haruhiko was the last one to enter, the arsenal door has been only opened once. If Tarita went in and out of the arsenal, I would have heard the sound twice. Well, for starters, the wood plank was used to clasp the door, I guess. If you did something like that from the inside, wouldn't you be able to come out? That's true. Even if you put a plank by some trick from outside, there wasn't just one. You know what I'm talking about, right, Yuki?
The flash grenade, yeah. They make it sound like if there was 2 planks, but they're talking about the flash grenade.
There wasn't just one plank.
There was 2 planks!
Right. The objects that were separated by the plank. You mean the flash and smoke grenades, right?
I guess. Remember what I was ranting about with the grenades? How the grenades wouldn't go off because it's actually the release of the pin that activates them. So if you stuck them in the door, there's no reason to think that they would, like, be released suddenly by the door opening. But if they were put behind the wooden plank, and then breaking the door made the wooden plank fell away, then the trigger could actually release, and the grenades could actually go off. So maybe that's true.
The flash and smoke grenades, right?
Flash and smoke grenades? Those things that were near the door?
Poor Akane. She hasn't got to do anything in this trial, except get yelled at.
Yes. When Chiri and I first opened the door, we heard a shattering sound from inside, and afterwards a tremendous amount of light and noise assaulted us. After a few moments when we could open our eyes, the arsenal was filled with smoke.
After pulling out the plank from the handle, the door was opened, and the plank fell because of the effort.
That's right. Now, do you see? It's impossible to block the door like that from the outside.
What? Are you saying Chiri is not the culprit?
Wait a minute, but I was the one who wrote the letter and had the gun set up to explode. I was the reason Haru saw the gun and then had it explode in his hand.
I told you a little while ago. It's true that Haruhiko's right hand exploded, but the cause of death was the gunshot wound. Churia, you only prepared the gun. You didn't shoot Haruhiko.
No. Hold it. Tria's had an obvious murder intent. It's a contradiction to say he isn't the culprit.
What's wrong, Psycho Cop? Using forceful logic in that way doesn't seem like it would reach an answer. Dark Circles is right. I don't think Churio Tori is the killer either.
Then who is it? You're saying it's impossible for Churia to block the door. However, no one else could do it either.
That's true. That's the biggest mystery of this case.
So, what you're all saying is, in short...
In short, it's an impossible crime.
Da-da-da! Oh, yay. Thank goodness. Well, I kind of like how Satsuki came out at the very beginning of the trial and was like, I'm the killer. And everybody's like,
You can't be the killer.
and now we're like, Chiria's the killer. And it's like, Chiria can't be the killer. So now, you know. Could have been so easy. Well, this is kind of funny because this is sort of like an idea I had for a case in my own game. Not the actual bulk of it, but someone coming out right away as the killer. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, I have Patreon, right? I always forget that's the thing I have to say now. It's so unnatural to me. Check the description. At the very bottom is Patreon. You can, if you want to support me, you also get access to all the videos that get blocked by YouTube for copyright. So, you know, all the memesicles and the musical videos that might be blocked in your country. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Comment of the day today. Who do you think is the killer? Now, I can't do that because a lot of you know, and I know, so it's not very fun. But what can we say? What can be the comment question? Oh, here's a good one. Would you believe Satsuki after she established herself as a clown who makes bad jokes all the time, and also as someone who is kind of been the most emotionally affected by this case? Would you believe her right away when she said she was the culprit? Or would you also go along with this and say, Teruya might be the culprit? Because you never know, Teruya might still be the culprit. You don't know. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Go drink water.